What's up, Kansas City? I'm Serenity, and today we have poet Keisha Burns, also known as KBrooklyn. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you come up with KBrooklyn? How did that come from?
Funny thing about KBrooklyn is, at first I didn't have a stage name. I just was Keisha Burns, And every time I would get up to speak or do my, spoken words and my poetry, people would always ask me afterwards, "Where you from? Yo, you from New York?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from Kansas City." And so eventually I just took upon what they were hearing and used it as my stage name, and I came up with Brooklyn, and the K is just so I can have my identity as Keisha, so KBrooklyn.
Right. Yeah, you do have your voice is very different than most people in this area. So you do sound like you're from Brooklyn or from the East Coast or something.
I have never been. I want to go, but I have never been.
So, how did you get into performing spoken word? Have you always written? Is this something new for you? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I actually used to write when I was younger, like middle school age. And then I took a long break. And then one day I got asked to speak a monologue at a women's conference. And so therefore it stirred back up that poetry and spoken word. And that was only about, I would say, a year and a half ago. And so I've never performed it until then. And so now I perform more so write. Like, I don't write anymore. I just perform spoken word.
Okay. So how long have you been doing stage poetry then?
Oh, just a year and a half, or a year and a half.
And you're associated with For His Will, correct?
Yes, For His Will with Ed Rollins. So shout out to our team, which I'm the new girl on the block. Yeah. But yes, I do For His Will.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about For His Will and what they do?
Yes, Ed Rollins, of course I'm new, so I don't know the whole history, but I know that they are a poetry team that's been around about 10 years.
Yeah, it's Christian-based.
Christian-based. And so they have open mics, and they promote Christian poetry in Kansas City, Missouri, and even other gifts as rapping and singing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what projects are you working on? I know you do a lot of things in the community. Tell us a little bit about that.
Last year I started a project called the Love Project, and basically what that is it breaks down the barriers of religion and tradition, and it gets all denominations together, and it comes outside of the four walls of the church and into the community, and just pouring love into the community in a non-ordinary way. Right. So last May we did things like prayer walk and flash mobs, and we actually did a flash mob on 18th and Vine, and then a flash mob on the plaza.
Oh, wow. How many people did the flash mob?
We had about 8 to 10 dancers, and then we just, the churches came out in support, and they watched, and we basically just performed it from the community. So we had a good audience on the plaza and a good audience on 18th and Vine.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yes, it was so much fun. I can't wait till the summer.
So who would you say inspires you as far as poetry? Who do you look up to?
It's so many different celebrity poets that I can really name. But I'm really inspired by my community. Since I've started doing spoken word poetry, I've met so many different poets in Kansas City, Missouri. And it's just inspiring to see how Kansas City supports poetry. Mm-hmm. And I've met so many people that does poetry and spoken word, and it's a really supportive community, and I love that. And Ed Rollins and Purpose Sherry Hall and you and and my friend Keisha KBrooklyn, also known as Star. I'm inspired by you guys.
That's great. So, what are some other projects besides the Love Project you're working on? You have any new features coming up? Any performances that you want to talk about?
I do have some features coming up in March, also in April, and I don't have those exact dates because they're to be announced, but I definitely will have it posted so people can know.
So as far as you doing spoken word, would you say this is your purpose in life? Like, this is what you're doing, is what you were put on this earth to do?
Yes, I eat, sleep, drink, think spoken word. I love it. I'm sleeping and I'm thinking about what my next line is going to be. I'm at work and I'm on the phone thinking about what my next line is going to be. I'm at church and I'm worshiping and I'm thinking about what my next line is going to be. So yeah, I definitely believe that God put me on this earth to inspire other people with words.
All right. So how would somebody get in contact with you?
You can reach me on Facebook as Keisha KBrooklyn, and then on Instagram as KBrooklyn__, no spaces. And I don't have a up and running Twitter account, but those are the places that you can reach me.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And I'm Serenity signing out, reminding you to spit your piece. Also, make sure you check out whatsupkansascity.net and any interviews and videos on the site. Thank you.
Thanks.
CMG wants you to always remember, the victory we call success goes to the best prepared. When you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Thanks.